Hi, everybody. This is going to be the video that you will follow with to get your work done for this afternoon session. If at any time you are not following along, please pause it and get caught up. And you can just pause it and do the step that I'm on, and then resume and all of that. Okay. So manipulate this however it works for you, whatever's best for you. Okay. So let me go ahead and get started by sharing my screen. Maybe. Here we are. We're actually not going to start in Canva, which you see right here. We are going to start in OneNote. Okay, let's go ahead and pull up OneNote. I'm going to model this using the first period class because all of my stuff is there, but you have access to all of this as well. All right, so here's the first period class. Like I told you in the morning session, what we will be doing today, what we will be doing today is the title page, the middle cover, and the biography page. And I've split this into a part to kind of help you along the way. All right, so let me show you the assignment. This is how you're going to complete it. You're going to click on the assignment that I shared with you called 520 title, middle, and biography pages. All right. I'm going to delete all of this information because this is from a previous class. You're going to be doing all of this. Right. I'm going to walk you through how to do all of this. Okay. So this is the assignment that you're going to use to kind of go through and complete those pages. This is the first part of it. So let me show you how I'm doing this. All right, there we go. It's all deleted. All right. So the first thing you need to do is you need to pick a person that you want to focus on. All right. And that person has to be one of the people that we either talked about. So you can go to, let me show you, you can go to the content library here. All right. And you can choose somebody from the biographies page right here. These are all people that struggled with voting rights. Do not pick anybody that has a star by their name. There are a few that have stars. Do not pick one of those, but you could choose any of the ones after that. So you have like Frances Ellen Watkins Harper, Christia Adair, Ruth Muskrat Bronson, any of these people. All right, all of these people struggled with voting rights. If you do not feel like choosing one of those biographies, if you want to choose somebody that we've done a little bit more work with, you could choose, like, say, Fannie Lou Hamer. We read a whole story about Fannie Lou Hamer. You could choose to do about them. You could also scroll down, choose Linda Brown, Barbara Johns, Robert F. Kennedy. All right, one of these people you're going to focus on. All right, and once you have that person in mind, what I want you to do is go back to that assignment, that 520 assignment. Write that person's name right here. So choose a person that stands out for you, that fought or struggled with civil rights. You can choose someone that we have talked about or someone that you have in mind. What is their name? Write their name right there. Again, this is the 520 title, middle, and biography page, which is under your name, Unit 4, and then 520 title, middle, and biography page. Write their name there. So I'm going to pause. You can pause and do that now. Figure out who you want to do and write their name. So if you've done that, I'm going to go ahead and model what I'm going to do. I'm going to choose Martin Luther King Jr. And again, you cannot choose Martin Luther King Jr. because he did not focus specifically on education or voting. All right. So that's who I'm going to model for you for this whole activity. So Martin Luther King Jr. All right. Now I have a person in mind. Now that you have your person in mind, you need to find 3 images that are related to this person or the civil rights time period in which they fought. All right, so I'm going to find 3 images that are related to Martin Luther King. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy his name, Control C, go to my tab, open up a new tab, Control V, and go to images. And I'm going to choose 3 images of Martin Luther King or the time period in which they fought. So I like this one right here. This one's perfect. Lovely image. And what I'm going to do is I'm not going to click copy image. What I'm going to do is click open image and new tab. Open image and new tab. So I right clicked and then I opened that image in a new tab. And what that did is it created a web address for this image, for this JPEG. I'm going to copy that image JPEG or that web address, sorry. So Control C, and that is what I'm going to put in the first line here. There we go. And then I press enter and now it becomes a hyperlink. All right, so I have one image. I'm going to go ahead and grab another one. Go ahead, I'm going to close that. Let's see, I want to find another image. Let's see, how about this one of Martin Luther King sitting in the chair. No, it's a smaller image. I don't want to grab that one. Let's see, do we have any more that, oh, I like the one with him with the American flag in the background. Why not? Again, I'm going to right click on the image, open image in new tab, click on that tab, copy the image, and put it in my assignment. There we go. And then for those of you that are maybe struggling to find images, you can also do the time period. I know, because I know a little bit about Martin Luther King, that Martin Luther King was fighting for civil rights during the 1960s. So I'm going to type in 1960s civil rights and see if I have an image that might be meaningful for me. Look at all of these great images. All right, so I'm going to grab one of these. Let's see. I love this one with the two hands. Perfect. All right, so I will do the same thing. Open image in new tab. There we have it. Copy that link and put it on my assignment right there, and then enter, so it becomes a hyperlink. So now I have two parts done. I have the blue section done here. I chose a name and I have 3 images. All right, pretty simple. Now I need to find a quote of that person that person said. So find a quote that person you chose said, or a quote about that person that stands out to you. So you could find these in a lot of places. What I don't want you to like grab a line that says, you know, Martin Luther King was a historical figure. I want you to try to find something like historical or something like that. For Martin Luther King, it's kind of easy because there are a lot of quoted lines for him. For some of the other ones, it's pretty easy as well. So if you think about like, let's say Barbara Johns, right? Barbara Johns has a few quotes as well. So if I go to images, you will see there is the statue that we kind of talked about a little bit through that article, that first article. And there's a quote right on that statue. It says it seemed like reaching for the moon. So if you choose Barbara Johns, you could choose that quote right there. Like I said, though, I'm going to do Martin Luther King Jr., and I'm going to find a quote for Martin Luther King Jr. So the quote the one that I did in the morning that it gave me is this one right here. And so I'm going to grab that quote, just copy it, Control C, go back to my assignment, and drop that quote right here. There we go. And I want to put the the quotation marks around it. And then I'm going to put a dash and just put MLK, so I know that's who said it. All right. So I got a little bit done now. I'm going to remove the formatting because I'm not crazy about the way it's formatted right now. The font color needs to be automatic, and this needs to be no color. There we go. So there we go. So I have my quote, I have my person that I'm focusing on, I have 3 pictures, and now I have a quote that stands out to me. Now what I want to do is I want to write at least 3 lines summarizing that person's life. So for this one, this green section, you are not telling me about how that person fought for either education or voting. You're telling me about their personal life. So I need to find, we did not model this. The first place for all of you to start would probably be the content library. I would go into the content library and look at some of those different stories. Perhaps you could find some of it there. You could also maybe find some of this in your classwork assignments. Maybe you already did some of this work. For me, I do not have this work done. I need to find a website or something that talks a little bit about Martin Luther King's personal life. And I know for a fact, because I've done this already, that there's a Seattle Times article about Martin Luther King and his history. Here it is right here. Okay, so I have a little bit here. And I'm just going to read through a little bit of this. And if you want to skip ahead, you can. So King was born, Michael Luther King, in Atlanta on January 15th, 1929, one of three children of Martin Luther King Sr., pastor of Ebenezer Baptist Church in Alberta, King, a former school teacher. He was renamed Martin when he was about 6 years old. So he was Michael at first. I didn't know that. That's an interesting fact. After going to local grammar and high schools, King enrolled in Morehouse College in Atlanta in 1944. He wasn't planning to enter the ministry, but then he met Dr. Benjamin Mays, a scholar whose manner and bearing convinced him that a religious career could be intellectually satisfying as well. After receiving his bachelor's degree in 1948, King attended Crozer Theological Seminary in Chester, PA, winning the Plafker Award as the outstanding student of the graduating class. King completed the coursework for his doctorate in 1953 and was granted the degree 2 years later upon completion of his dissertation. So a lot of information there. And I think I have enough to kind of write 3 sentences, like it says here, 3 lines summarizing just a little bit about his life. All right. So I'm going to start with his name, Martin Luther King Jr. was born, and I'm going to put the date there. I'm just going to say when he was born. I'm giving just general facts about his life. So I'm going to scroll back up. Born in Atlanta on January 15th, 1929. Born in Atlanta on January, and that date should stand out to you because that's Martin Luther King Day. January 15th, 1929. All right, and then maybe that year should stand out to you as well. That year was the year the stock market crashed. All right, so I was born. So I have my first sentence. I don't know why it capitalized was, probably because I put a period right there after JR. All right, Martin Luther King Jr. was born in Atlanta on January 15th, 1929. I like the line about his parents. So his mom was a school teacher and his dad was a Baptist pastor. So I'm going to keep focusing on that idea about him becoming a pastor because that's a little bit about what it talked about. King never thought he would be a pastor, but after college, he decided to pursue a career in the ministry. And I'm just going to put one more line. That's three sentences. That's all I need, but I'm going to put one more that ties into what I'm about to talk about in my purple section here. This is where King established his unique public speaking voice. All right, so as you could see, I have a few lines about his personal life. All right, what I didn't do was talk about civil rights, didn't talk about education, didn't talk about voting. You're going to do that in the purple paragraph. So the first paragraph is going to be a little bit about that person. The second paragraph is going to be about how they fought or how they struggled. Okay. So lastly, you don't have to do this right now if you don't want, but I'm going to do it to model it for you. Lastly, as you all know, one of the requirements for this assignment is to include text evidence. I'm going to include a line of text evidence in here to kind of make this paragraph a little bit longer. I'm going to do my text evidence right now from this website. And the line that I like is right here. He wasn't planning to enter the ministry, but then he met Dr. Benjamin Mays, a scholar whose manner and bearing convinced that a religious career, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I like that line. So I'm going to add that right here. And I'm going to do the same thing that I've done in the past. According to the Seattle Times, that's the name of the website. Come on, there we go. Comma, quotation mark, put the line there, or close quotation marks. There we go. And then I'm going to fix the formatting a little bit. change it to 11 and no color. There we go. There we go. Done with that section. All right. So you would do the same thing. Again, go ahead and pause, find out some information about the person that you chose, whoever you chose up here that's fighting for voting or education, and then find a little information about their personal life, wherever you get it. All right. And if you want to, you don't have to right now, but if you want to, you can include that text evidence. All right. So the last thing I want to do for this OneNote page, to complete this OneNote page, is write at least 3 lines summarizing how that person fought for civil rights. And I know for a fact that one of the ways that Martin Luther King fought for civil rights was during the March on Washington. So I'm going to go to March on Washington. And the first article that I find is from history.com. That's fine. All right, here we go. So I'm going to read a little bit of this and then I'm going to summarize it. The March on Washington was a massive protest march that occurred in August 1963 when some 250,000 people gathered in front of the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. Also known as the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom, the event aimed to draw attention to continuing challenges and inequalities faced by African Americans a century after emancipation. It was also, get out of here, we don't care. It was also the occasion of Martin Luther King Jr.'s now iconic I Have a Dream speech. So I have a little bit to talk about. So I'm not going to read any more than that. I have a little bit that I'm going to summarize here. All right. So where I left off on my last paragraph, I'm going to kind of tie into that idea. So I said, this is where King established his unique public speaking voice. I'm going to tie into that idea. King's unique voice was most famously on display in 1963 during the March on Washington. Come on. There we go. Unique's voice. All right, so I have my first line. It was at this event that King spoke the lines, and I'll put, I have a dream, ... King's speech, and I know this for a fact, and I think it might be in that article as well. King's speech was so influential that it led to significant civil rights changes the following year. All right, that's all I'm going to write. I don't need to write anymore. All right, so I have one line, I have one sentence, I have two sentences, and then I have three sentences. And again, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to model how to add a line, add a text evidence. All right, so let's go ahead and grab it from here somewhere. Let's see. Right here, I'm just going to say a little bit more about what the March on Washington was supposed to do. All right, so there we go. I'll just grab this bit here, Control C, go back here, and I'm going to add it right here to this part. According to history.com, comma, space, open quotation marks, add the line there, close quotation marks. And then I want to fix the formatting, change this back to 11, and then remove that. There we go. So King's unique voice was most famously on display in 1963 during the March on Washington. It was at this event that King spoke the line, I have a dream. According to history.com, the event aimed to draw attention to continuing challenges and inequalities faced by African Americans a century after emancipation. King's speech was so influential that it led to significant civil rights changes the following year. I feel really happy with this. I have my text evidence there. I talked a little bit about the civil rights movement, and it seems like it all makes sense with it. And I also tied it into this paragraph right here. So I have here a bunch about his personal life. Cool, I got some information. So essentially I've done all the hard work. So at this point, if you do all of this and you are struggling with Canva on how to manipulate Canva and do all of that, that's fine. We can do all of that next week. You can be like, hey, Mr. Ritchie, Canva is messing up. I don't know how to work it. I'm getting really frustrated. That's fine. What I want you to at least have done for today is this sheet. If you have all of this, getting all of this onto Canva is super easy. I can help you with that. If you do not have all of this done, we got to get this started. This is where you start. All right. So now I have all of my information. Now I'm going to start adding it to Canva. So if you go to Schoology right now, let me go back to our course. If you go to our course, you will see that I added a Canva classroom link. All right. So if you did not add our classroom to Canva already, or if you did not join our classroom in Canva already, click this link. You click there, it's going to say something wonky like, I cannot open this. So you're going to click up here at the top, Canva classroom link. It's right here. It's the title. You click that, it opens up. All right, here we are. If you haven't already, you need to log in and all of that. But if you have already logged in and you've already started your design, go ahead and jump into it. I'm going to walk through all of the steps again. So the first thing you're going to do, for this is you're going to go to create a design. You click this purple button up in the corner. And again, if you need to pause and go back, please do that. So create a design, click down here on brochure. It's going to bring you to this site right here. All right. Once you're here up in the corner, you're going to click beach. All right. When you click beach, the first one that pops up is this one right here, and you're going to apply that that template to both pages. There you go. Now I no longer need the templates. I have what I need. I'm going to zoom in a little bit just to make it easier to see. Not that much. My computer is running really slow right now. And now I want to manipulate the 3 pages. Again, for today, we're going to work on this page, and this one down here. So let's do the title page real quick. All right. So I have my 3 images that I want to use. I'm going to pull this tab over here. Let's go ahead and close some of these. All right. I'm going to close this. Oof, my computer is running fast. Let's close. I'm going to close a bunch of different things. Let's close this. Let's close this. Let's close this. I'm just trying to slow down my computer a little bit. Let's close that. Come on, computer, slow down. All right. It's like the fan is just spinning. All right. So I need to create a title. My title could be whoever you put here, that person's name and what rights they're fighting for. So if it's like Fannie Lou Hamer, you could say Fannie Lou Hamer and voting rights. Or if it's Barbara Johns, you could say Barbara Johns and education, something like that. So for me, I'm going to put, you have to highlight it. So you have to highlight the Great Escape. So you highlight the whole thing like this, and you write MLK and civil rights. Okay. And then right here, I'm going to change this to my name, Ryan Ritchie. And because it's the picture that I'm going to put on here on the background is black, it's like a black and white photo. I'm going to change this to white. So and again, if I'm going too fast for you, just go back, say, oh, how did he do that? And go back. Okay. So now it's white. Okay. And everything looks good there. Now what I want to do is I want to get rid of, zoom out, not in, zoom out a little bit. There we go. Right there. Right there. Okay. Now I want to get rid of this beach photo. All right. I'm going to click on the beach photo. I'm going to press backspace. All right. Now I need to replace that image. So if I go to my assignment, I can choose one of these. And I'm just going to choose the first one. It's going to open the link up in a new tab. I'm going to press the right click and then copy image, go back here, and then Control V. It's going to drop it in the middle, and then I want to drag it until it falls in there. All right, and so now, as you can see, Martin Luther King is not at the center of this. So if I double click on that image, it will let me adjust where it actually is. There we go. And then I click over here on done. There we go. And I might want to move this title down so that we can see it. There we go. I'm really happy with that. So I'm done with the title page. Now I want to go over here and do the middle cover. So I'm going to do the same thing with the picture. Okay. I'm going to click the picture, backspace to delete it. I don't need this anymore. I'm going to go to my next picture. Actually, I'm going to do the one of with the hands being held. I like that one. I'm going to copy this image. I don't need that anymore. Then I'm going to go back here, Control V. It's going to drop it in the center. Then I'm going to drop it right there. There we go. And let's see, is there anywhere I can put this? So this image right here is a little bright. And I won't be able to see the words if I leave it like that. So I'm going to double click it. No, I'm not going to double click it. I'm going to single click it and click on adjust here and lower the brightness a bit so I can see those words there. I'm going to do it until I can see the words. There we go. They're more clear. So maybe it's better if I put it down here. There we go. And so now these words do not make sense for what I want to do here. This is not the quote I want. I want this quote here that I had chose. So I'm going to grab that quote, copy, Control C, and then Control V once I highlight everything. So highlight everything, Control V. There we go. Look at that. There we go. I have 2 pages done. All right. Don't worry about this center section yet. We're going to work on that next week. So we have our 2 pages done there. The last page we're going to work on is this one down here. All right. So one thing that I didn't have you do is I didn't, and you're not going to get a grade on this. So if you want to leave it as the beach scene, that's absolutely fine. But I'm going to delete the background of this whole thing right here. So I'm getting rid of that. And I don't have a picture in mind for that, but you might want to do like maybe like a city. Like if you're, if it's Prince Edward County, maybe look up a black and white photo of Prince Edward County or something like that. I know that because I just read, Martin Luther King is from Atlanta. So I'm going to look up Atlanta, Georgia and drop a black and white photo of Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta, Georgia, black and white photo. And the problem with some of these is that they're copyrighted. They have like those little watermarks on them. So I don't want to grab one of those. I want to grab one without watermarks. Does this one have watermarks? Doesn't look like it. Maybe I'll use that one. So I'll copy that image and drop it in there. Really pay attention here if this is something you're interested in doing. So I got to figure out how to get it. There we go. There it is. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger because you could see this name down here and I don't like that. I know there's a way I can manipulate that. Maybe if yeah, there we go. All right, there we go. Done. Perfect. There's Atlanta in the background. All right, so I have Atlanta in the background there. It's a good picture because it's a little bit darker. I love that, and it works. So before I move on from this, right? So I have my picture, but if I try to manipulate these other things, it's going to mess up. It's going to be all weird. So what I want to do is I want to lock that image there. I want to be able to lock that image. And in order to do this, let me see if I can remember how to do this. Not there. I know you can do it. How do I do it? I've done this in the past and now I can't remember how to do it. Let me see. Oh, there's the lock symbol. Okay, so then so it might not be over there in that corner. There might be like 3 dots for it, but here's the lock. So I'm locking that image. I'm locking that image. So then when I remove other images, they won't like replace that image. All right. So for this is the page that we're going to work on now. All right. So I'm removing that palm tree. And then the image that I want to put there instead is my second picture of Martin Luther King right here. So I'm going to copy that image, go back to it, Control V, And then I want to shrink that image so it fits, that it's about the same size that the palm tree was. And then I just move it over here. All right. And then for the subtitle, I'm going to just change that to maybe Control Z. I'm just going to change that to MLK Biography. Okay. And then I think you can guess what I'm going to do next. All of this information right here is going to be replaced with my paragraphs. So I'm going to do the first one first. So I'm going to go down here to my green section, grab all that information, Control C, and then drop it into that part. And it's a lot of information. So I'm gonna, you'll see what I do because I'm gonna have to shrink it all so it all fits. Then I'm gonna grab the second one, drop it into the same place, maybe do a space in between. There we go. So now I have both of my paragraphs in there. They're and it's obviously past where it should be. So I need to shrink this a little bit. So we're shrinking it down. There we go. It fits at 7.4. There we go. And I know it looks small, but look, I'm only at 55% view. So it will fit. So it all fits. And that's all you're doing for today. So I have my title page done. I have my middle cover done right here. And then I have the biography section done there. Once you do all of that, you're done for the day. All right. And I don't want to spend too much time. I'm not going to keep you all. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing and then stop this video here after this. So try to finish all that. If you need to, pause the video whenever you or go back and do it however you do and get it all done. Okay. All right. I will see you all on Tuesday. Bye, everybody.